Hey guys, coming back at you on a Sunday, June 4th, to give you what my recommendations on are, what some of my hot cryptos that I think when the market pivots and the market goes up, what I'm looking to make money on. I'm going to get into some technical analysis with you to show you the different level, to really get into the meat of where I think these cryptos are going to go, where their bottom, their strong support is, where their last all-time high was, and where I think it can actually go down further. As I told you guys before, my previous videos and yesterday's video, the sell-off is not done yet. Now is not the time, I truly believe, to get into buying Bitcoin or cryptos or really any sort of asset, even across the board financially speaking. Maybe some on the short term, in and out, I'll be getting, of course, in my day trading. But for my long-term investment and my long-term day trading, I'm waiting until I believe the bottom is going to happen. And it's not happening now. The market is not pivoting anytime soon. But if you're interested in what my big plays are, I'm going to talk to you in this video about some of the crypto projects that made me a lot of money in the past that I truly believe is going to continue and do so, because the big institutional money is diversified and investing in those particular projects along with their various commodities like gold or oil or silver or platinum, or along with their indexes or major stocks. As always, I like to tell you, everything in my channel, everything that I'm giving you here is for educational purposes only. My speculation, but it works for me. And quite frankly, my speculation is quite right. I urge you to do your own research and to listen to other people, other channels, but don't listen to one person solely. Listen to everybody, look at what works for you, and then through trial and error, you will start to begin to make money. However, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I've done in the past. I want you to actually start making money now. So as I'm getting into various entries and exits and making money, if you think that it's something that you'd like to do, I like to share my winning opportunities with you as well. Let's see what's going on in the technical charts. So I'm going to go ahead and give you some of my top cryptos for making money that will make you money, that have made me money in the past. And I believe my speculation will make you money as well. First, I'm going to go to the big daddy, the big market cap holder of them all, which is a no-brainer, Bitcoin. And so let me go ahead and share my screen as I'm going to go ahead and give you the in-depth TA, the in-depth technical analysis of what I think is going to happen, what's happened in the past, and where we will be going when the market pivots. Remember, guys, I told you that we're not done with the sell-offs yet. The market is dropping. The market is falling. But that does not mean that you cannot make money, okay? If you're spot trading, I'll go ahead and tell you that my long-term trades, where I'm going for my entry points to get in, where if it breaks through that, I'll dollar cost average in and get in on a lower, but they're going to be really good entry points for me. And it could possibly be good entry points for you as well. What I'm also going to give you is, if you're day trading now, very good sell-off points, because listen, I don't care whether the market is going up. I don't care whether the market is going down. All right. I'm going to make money chopping it up and down, up and down, up and down until the market decides to pivot and then go for its bull run, which I do not believe will be happening at all this year. Maybe towards the end of the year going into 2024, but not this summer. We're going to have sell-offs, continued sell-offs, so that the investors and traders can feel market capitulation. So let's go ahead and take a look at my charts. I'm going to let you in. We're going to look at Bitcoin. So here with Bitcoin, as I went over with you in the previous video, we saw that the all-time high that it wicked up to was almost about $70,000, right? $69,231. That's where it wicked to, okay? Where it, around that area, where it closed. And this is my weekly chart, guys. So every candlestick here that you see represents 1 week. All right. So I like to look at the weekly because that tells me what's going on overall in the market long term. If I'm day trading, then on the crypto, I'm day trading on a 15-minute or a 1 hour so that I'm getting in and out of trades. Okay. But if I'm doing my long-term trades, I'm looking at the 5 hour, which is what most of the market makers, the institutional money is trading at on the street, as well as I'm looking at the weekly. All right. So here we see that $64,999.69 is around the area that the candlestick closed at on the weekly. And so we would expect once the market turns around that it would come up to this area to retest and possibly close out on the weekly at this level to fill the wick and even to break to a higher high. But that's not happening right now. Okay. So Bitcoin, as you can see here, and I went over a little bit of Bitcoin yesterday. This is my linear regression line and the market is going down. Okay. If I wanted to trade while the market is going down and make some money and get in on the buy, what would I do? I go ahead and get in and buy the dollar, because here I see that the dollar is going up. The linear regression line is going up. Now, that doesn't mean that if you get into a trade over here, it's not going to come down, because clearly you see the top of my linear regression line and the bottom of my linear regression line. Okay. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking to get into trades closer to this support if I see that it's trending up and above my exponential moving averages, which are these, and Bollinger Bands, which are these lines here. My 3 pink lines here, my upper Bollinger Band is telling me that it's oversold. Okay. And you see here, it wicks up and then it begins to sell off. Okay. It's oversold here. It's carrying, so it's in consolidation. Here, it's the bottom of the Bollinger Band. It's overbought. And as you can see here, it wicks down here and it pops right back up. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at, guys, letting you know the levels, teaching you the levels that you can know the best entry points to get into. Okay. So I'll try to get into a buy if I'm buying in on the dollar to the bottom here. And if I'm going to sell, I'm going to sell it towards the top here. That doesn't mean that it can't go a little bit past like this did over here. But then it broke. That's to entice people, retail investors, to buy because they think it's just going to continue to go up, which it is not. But then you see here, it's going to come down. And what happened? It came down into the linear regression line and broke back down towards the bottom here. Okay, towards the bottom of this. So it went from my support of my linear regression line, the buy, to my sell of the linear regression line, bobbing up and down while it's trending up. If you want to get it on a buy. But we're talking about cryptos, right? So let's go back to Bitcoin. So here, right here, I'm looking that maybe over here, I can go ahead and sell. But I think that probably it might go back up a little bit, perhaps. And if it does, then this will be a strong area over here, 29,700. Why? Because I've got this little indicator telling me to close my order longs and go short. Or if I think that the market makers may want to go ahead and get people enticed, then here's another buy-in entry here. Oh, excuse me. Here's another buy-in entry here at that $33,000 level, which it did not get into. But for me, safe, strong, look at here, it's bobbing up. It's just hitting on the weekly, can't get above that. Over here is around that $29,000, $30,000 area. Okay. So here, I'm not doing any buying, guys. Look, the linear regression line is going down. I'm not going to buy here. If I'm going to buy, I'm going to look for it to come down here, the bottom of this middle linear regression line, around 13K. Remember, I told you yesterday, it's going to come down here to about 15K to retest where it was back in January. Okay. Back in January before it started going back up. Okay. So here I look for it to retest this. Okay. Maybe it retests this. goes back up a little bit. If I'm trading, day trading, I'll go ahead maybe and get in for a little buy at that 15K level and then let it carry up. Maybe it hits over here or where these EMAs, exponential moving averages, are coming down and crossing over. And then I'm looking for 15K, and then I'm looking at here. These are buying areas. Okay, that 12K area. And as I told you before, I expect that to really bottom. So I'm buying in safely around that $12,000 to $10,000 level. Okay, I'm not going to buy the farm with it, but I'm going to buy in heavy on Bitcoin. And if I'm buying in heavy on Bitcoin at that level, then I'm buying in across the board with the rest of my alts that are following Bitcoin. Okay, so this is where I'm buying in at Bitcoin. And as I showed you here before, I believe it could get possibly to that $8,000 level. $8,000 level, I'm going in heavy, okay? Because I don't think that it's going to get down to $4,000 where it was back in 2020 and where it was at in 2019. Because I'm looking for Bitcoin to create a higher high, a trending up on the long term, okay? So for me, while it could dip down there, I'm not expecting it to get to 4K. I'm expecting it to break 15K, get to around that 13K to 8K and the $8,000 level. Those particular levels, I'm buying the farm with that, because then I'm expecting Bitcoin to then go all the way back up, not immediately, guys, but it'll start to go back all the way back up, test that all-time high where the weekly candlestick closed at, and then fill the wick of almost 70K. That's at $69,600 and $684, and then possibly create a higher high. So I'm knowing that at least, we're getting higher lows and higher highs. So Bitcoin, guys, is a major play, of course, always for me. But what am I also looking at? Not everything in Bitcoin. I'm looking at cryptos and other projects that will give me a better ROI, better return on my investment than Bitcoin. Okay? So number 2 in my list is, of course, the number 2 holder in market cap. That's Ethereum. Okay? And we covered Ethereum a little bit also in the past. But here we see, as with Bitcoin, okay, Ethereum is here. While let me go ahead. That's a heavy resistance there. All right, at that $1,894 level. Okay, it could possibly, as I said, nothing out of the norm. It could possibly get up to here. If it hits there around July 17th, it could get up here and then do a nice, huge sell-off. If it were going to go ahead and play around, consolidate, hit up there by July 17th, and do a sell-off here. August 23rd, it hits around that $824 level. And then here, where it crosses my linear regression line, as well as this former support resistance of back in October of 2020. Stops there around that $415 level, which would be a huge, huge buy-in for me. Okay, if I can buy Ethereum at $400 and it gets back up to $4,900 and then even breaks through and creates a higher high, guys, that's great. Because what's it doing here? I see here the head and shoulders. I see the right type of the shoulder has to go ahead and drop back. But what I'm expecting is that it's going to create a higher high. So on the weekly, while it was down here, okay, back in $300 to $200 level, back in your July of 2020, I expect us to have a little bit of a higher high. So a higher low of around $400, maybe $300. And then we go ahead and create a higher high. That was where it wicked up. Where it closed on the weekly was around $4,600. But I expect that it breaks through that $5,000 level. possibly get a $6,000, $7,000, or $8,000 Ethereum before it starts to sell off again. Because remember, guys, with everything, we're getting higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And we want for it to go up, but we want for it also to go ahead and retest the bottom, the retest and have a nice, heavy, strong support. And then it goes back up. That's great trading and investing for us. Nothing could just go up all the way, but we want to go ahead and take advantage of the highs and the lows. And that's what I'm trying to give you guys here. What's worked for me in the past, what's enabled me to have a 1000X account last year, and it's allowing me to, even though the market is selling off, allowing me to go ahead and make money on my short-term trading. But if you want to go ahead and get in for your long-term trades, long-term investments, hold off for now, guys. Don't go ahead and buy in. Don't believe the hype with these guys who are saying, hey, we're going to the moon now, because we are not. I can guarantee you that. It's my own education, my own speculation. Do your own research. But I can honestly tell you, we are not in a bull run yet. Okay? Next, what I'm looking at is XRP. A lot of people are talking about XRP. XRP was actually one of my first, even before Bitcoin, even before Ethereum, XRP was the first crypto I ever invested in, around 16 cents, okay? Here we see that had the all-time high of about $1.97, where it wicked up, okay? And that was in, wow, that was it was going up. That was in April of 2021, okay? And since then, it's come back up. It's had this strong, I'm going to look at the closings, okay, guys? Where the weekly closed, okay, at $1.50. And that was around, and then it kept going there. That was around May of 2021. And then we start seeing now where you're having the higher low, higher low, lower low, higher low, higher low. A little bit of more of a lower low, but it's pretty much consolidating in this area. But then it creates a higher low and a lower low, where it's really been consolidating since, let me go ahead and do it at the wick for you guys, May of last year, 2022. And I'll go ahead, and you see here, it's been really carrying it before that in 2020, 21, and 2020. This was a resistance. It was trying to get above it. Then it broke here strong. It came down here. It retested this, which is now a strong support around 30 cents. And it's been clicking up, but the trend is going down. We're here right now. It could possibly get up to about, and it's around 57 cents, right? 51 cents. In some exchanges is around 57 cents. You get a couple pennies above, okay, by the end of June 26th. But I'm thinking for it to come all the way down here, okay? Strong support. All right. And if we do break down, which I'm thinking that it should, to capitulate people, then we can go ahead and get to this middle of the linear regression line. And then again, this is back in August. This will be in August of 2023. We could see 16 cents, which is not fathomable. Which is not unheard of. Okay. We could actually see it go down and test below here. But I think what we do really, guys, is that we're at probably the low of 24 cents. Okay. So between 24 and 31 cents. If they really want to mess with us, they go ahead and retest that bottom again. However, I think that we get a higher high and a higher low. So I'm looking that we go ahead and test and get this 27 to 33 cents level. Also, guys, for XRP, what you got to look at is this, and a lot of guys have been talking about this to convince people now is the time to buy in on XRP, that they are right now in a lawsuit with the SEC, and there should be a settlement hopefully soon, but we don't know when. But people are saying, oh, it's going to be a week or two. We don't know yet, guys, okay? So when that happens, they're saying that, hey, it's going to skyrocket. It's going to go ahead and do a full bull run all the way back up the top. The thing they're not realizing, guys, is that the rest of the market, if the rest of the market is going down, if the Fed is going ahead and imposing continued interest rate hikes, okay, And we're supposed to see in the next week. So the FOMC, and we're going to hear from the Fed Reserve and the chair if we're going to be getting continued or increased interest rate hikes, which I expect that we will, because they want to get interest rates down to 2%. I think that the jobs report is going to be good, saying that we're good. But for them to have an interest rate hike of get it down to 2.5%, then unemployment needs to go up. And there needs to be a true capitulation of the market. So for that to happen, the rest of the market is going up. Going down. So if the rest of the market is going down, even though you have a favorable decision for XRP and the SEC XRP case, then that will impact XRP price and it too shall go down. Okay, guys? So we've got to take all of these things into consideration. However, if it gets down here to 30 cents, 20 cents, I'm buying it heavy because look, guys, if it gets up here, $1.50, a retest dollar, almost $2, and breaks that, creates another higher high of maybe $2.20, $2.50. Much better ROI, return on your investment, than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't like to just look at, and of course too, I like it because the major investors, institutional money, they're also investing within XRP because it's one of the top 20 cryptos. Okay, but the good thing is that XRP, if they have a favorable decision, they get relisted on the U.S. exchanges. So now a lot more people will be able to go ahead and buy in on that. And of course, then it will go up because there'll be less of a supply, more of a demand. My next project, which I love, is Shiba Inu, which made me tons of money, guys, tons of money. So we see here when they first went ahead and opened up, went from a 4 zeros and a 1. Look, guys, it almost lost to zero. Look at that huge wick. 4 zeros and an 8868 is where it was. Okay. And so I bought in around $2,000. Okay. At around here. Okay. It broke through, did a big run, and at the bottom, my $2,000 turned into about $24,000, $25,000. Okay. Now it's come back down, like with Bitcoin. And here, as you can see too, this is a little bit of head and shoulders, but here we can see, and I'll put this at the bottom of the wick, and where my indicators here are telling me to go ahead and close my order shorts and go long. And that's at 5 zeros, 6 zeros in the 5 zeros in the 593. Okay, and that's where it's bigger. So this is a really strong support from the time that it was released. It's come down and retested this. It has not went below that, came back down. It's come here. It retested that, came back down, and it's strong. And here you see, I think this will be a great area. Possibly, if it's really going, if we're getting true market capitulation, maybe we get down to, I would say probably about here, about 5 zeros in a 3.7, 5 zeros in a clean 3. But I don't think so. I think we test that. Anyway, it's not much more money. If you buy in at a heavy 5 zeros in a 5, guys, and it goes down to 5 zeros in a 3, you're not losing much money. And the upside is just total gain. Look at all this here. Okay? Total gain. So $1,000 on this, guys, or $2,000 on this will easily give you a good over $60,000 when it goes and retests that high. That's just on Shiba Inu, guys. Okay. Another one I like to show you is Cardano USDT, and as with, see, all the cryptos look alike, right? Just like with Bitcoin, the top ones, they're following head and shoulders. So it's going to be the same here. I go and do the wick, the top of the wick, around that area. It was about $3.01. Right now, it's at 37 cents. Okay. Huh. If it gets down, I'll do the resistance of where it was. before the resistance where it was back in November of 2020. And so if it comes down here and hits that resistance, which is the support, and takes that, that's at 12 cents, right, guys? If I buy in to Cardano at 12 cents and it gets up to $3.13, and it's also a top 20 crypto, top 20 market cap that the rest of the institutional investors, the rest of the big money makers are investing in. So I'm investing across the board, you know, and I'm doing these and I'm looking at getting in. It's all about entry level. And so my long-term trading at these bottom areas, even now it's nice to go ahead and buy into, because over here, even though it may go in, if you got a couple $100, $1,000, go ahead and buy back in. But like I said, we're not done selling yet. So you can go ahead and hold off, wait for it to get down to these lower levels. Let me go ahead and put this level here, which is another support resistance, but also at my oversold Bollinger Band, which is 27 cents. So you can buy in at 27 cents. And if it goes down even further over here, which is at 15, 14 cents, which will be in November of this year, it can get down to that before we see the true pivot up. And wow, all the way there. Full gains, money, money. That's how these market makers make money. That's how the elite make money. That's how the rich make money. That's how I've made money. This is how I want you to make money too. Okay. And lastly, and although there are a lot more, and there are a lot of metaverse plays I want to talk about, I'm going to do a whole video on just the metaverse next time, guys. Okay. Of what I think is going to happen, because that's the future. Again, here, Solano, what do we see on the weekly? Head and shoulders. Boom. You can't make this stuff up, guys. And what's a head and shoulders? It's bullish. Okay. I mean, it's bearish, right? So here at the bottom, well, I'll do the bottom support, resistance, where it was resistance. So that's where it was. That's where I believe that it can go to. This is where, if they really want to drive the market down, but I think we get a higher low and a higher high on it, because this is where it went, where it was before, when they did their coin offering around this particular area. Okay. But now here, I think if we can get an $8 Solano, right now it's trading at $21. Okay. Anywhere there now is great. But like I said, I think we go down further. So we get like anywhere between the 15 to 10 to $8 Cardano. Okay. And then wait, and then it pivots up. Hold it, guys. A lot of you guys are going to want to go ahead and sell immediately. Guys, do what the market makers do. If you want to take some profits, take some profits, but leave some back for it to retest the weekly where it closed from, which was around $239, and then see if it could fill the wick at $261. So guys, if you're buying at $10, if you're buying at $8, and it goes all the way up to $239 to $261, that's great earnings. That's what the market makers are doing. People are selling. When it goes down, they're selling out because they're like, I'm not going to have any more money. When you're selling, the market makers are buying from you. Then they drive it all the way back up here. Huge gains, huge freaking gains. And then that's where you're buying from, because now it's all in the media. And guess what? When you're buying, they're selling to you. And they're getting you to buy more, and they're selling you more. And now you've gone, they've broken it a little bit above, higher. Maybe it gets to around $290. Maybe it gets to $300. And now they just drop the market down where you've bought at the top. No, guys, do what they do. Do what I do. Do what the institutional investors do. Buy at the bottom, sell at the top. All right, guys? And if you're day trading, buy at the bottom, sell at the top, buy at the bottom, sell at the top. All right? Doesn't make a difference where the market is going. These are the entry levels that I'm doing. These are the entry levels, guys, that if you want, you can do to make money. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. It's only education and my own speculation. Do your own homework.